It's hard to imagine an era in which image and music weren't completely connected. There was a time when music wasn't implemented as part of the experience. This is one of the reasons cinema's objective is to show rather than tell, but that doesn't mean the connection between the two can make an even greater experience, as shown in modern entertainment. 2014 was an amazing year for cinema. We had live adaptations with The Theory of Everything, Selma, and The Imitation Game, good animation with Kaguya-hime Monogatari and How to Train Your Dragon 2. And there were also some films with a big musical influence. These movies set their tone by using a particular soundtrack. Probably my favorite Marvel movie, Guardians of the Galaxy, implemented it through the use of its Awesome Mix Volume 1. The critique to modern cinema, Bergman, had a constant use of improvised jazz inside and outside of the film. And the music-centered Whiplash focused on the sacrifices of producing art in music. This last one has a particular difference. Music does not only set the mood, but it could also be the goal by itself. The main conflict is about Andrew trying to become one of the greatest drummers in the world, like Buddy Rich, and his teacher, Terence Fletcher, constantly humiliating him, making him improve through frustration and anger. I think the brightest moment in the whole film, and it already has a lot of good ones, is its climax. So a deep analysis of it will be the best way to show the genius behind this amazing piece of work. So I suggest you to watch it beforehand. From this point onward, everything is told by the cinematography, the editing, and the music in it. In the beginning, the movie tries its best to depict Andrew's impotence, and before this moment, he even seems getting better with his life. But Fletcher's deception puts him back again in a feeling of despair. After his humiliation, the next shot is him receiving the final punch, with a close-up of him, then the audience, followed by going to his father, so he can take the last piece of courage he needs. This is when the lightning starts to play a role from now on, going from the dark alley to the lighted stage. The dialogue fades away after the reveal of the scam, making an upfront declaration of it. This is the last piece of dialogue per se, since the few words left are more like side notes to what's happening. Then he starts playing. There's this particularly interesting cut in which he shows dominance, reaffirming it when Fletcher approaches him, accentuated by the sound of the cymbal. The show keeps going and the antagonist starts to enjoy the moment, showing some kind of acceptance, pictured on this camera movement between him and Andrew. The editing between him, the rest of the group, the notes, and Fletcher's movement make everything feel connected. The only words the main character pronounces are directions to the music, as when to follow him at the beginning and the end of the song. He stops involving himself through speech and uses his music. The musical piece is none other than Caravan, a song that represents a big part of the film, being the one he couldn't play at the middle of the movie. This song represents his biggest failure, the peak of his stress. This interpretation had never been completely shown before, and now we appreciate it as showing the results of his work. This song constantly demands speed, the main reason he earned the part on the first place, and he shows his expertise by keeping up with the song until the end. But then he doesn't stop. He continues through a Buddy Rich style solo. The lights turn on for a moment, showing the concentration on his own interpretation. The only two things illuminated in the whole room are the drums and himself. He's no longer playing for the audience. He's no longer part of the show. He is the show. The cuts go between his overall movement, the impact of the sticks, and his concentration. I'm not an expert on music, and from what I have read, it's not an impossible solo, but one that requires to be somewhat good. But that level of complexity is enough to make the viewers feel the effort on the performance. He starts aggressive, then goes silent, with the music even going mute, illustrating him being completely focused. After that, it gets intense, with Fletcher even telling him to start slowing the tempo. In the final part, it shows the acceptance of the main characters, with a reverse shot of their eyes, ending with the smile of relief and euphoria, expressed through the entrance of the rest of the band and the intense lighting on this last shot. Whiplash tries to depict how greatness requires effort and also how this pursuit could destroy your life. I think you could sum the whole movie with Andrew's family's dialogue, in which he stated, "Success is not a long, happy life, but one that leaves an impact on humanity." While I don't completely agree with this argument, the effort behind it is something worth praising. Everything requires sacrifices, but the amount of greatness is determined by how much effort are we willing to put on. This has been the All-Arounder Geek, Master of Nothing, Apprentice of Everything, and remember, this is an amazing time to be alive.
Isn't it subjective?
No.